TLC, or thin layer chromatography, is a technique used to test the presence of compounds in a solution. The setup for TLC has a plate, beaker, watch glass, large folded filter paper, and capillary tube. The plate, normally comprised of silica with an aluminum back, serves as the stationary phase which draws up the solution of interest. To begin the TLC, a line is drawn 2 to 3 millimeters from the bottom of the plate with a pencil. The solution or compounds of interest are then spotted onto the plate on the line using a capillary tube. Only a small dot is needed. Each compound will have a different polarity, causing it to move a different distance up the stationary phase based on how strongly it adheres to the silica. More polar compounds will move slower, while less polar compounds will move further. Be careful to only touch the sides of the plate to prevent contamination. As the spots evaporate, the beaker is filled with a mobile phase, which carries the compounds along the plate. A watch glass is placed over the beaker, while the filter paper soaked in solvent is placed along the inside of the beaker to improve saturation of the air with the solvent vapors, causing the process to proceed more quickly. The plate is then placed into the beaker with a spotted line above the height of the solvent. When the solvent front, or visible line of saturation on the plate, is a few millimeters from the top, remove the plate and quickly mark the line with a pencil. After the plate fully dries, one can see the separated compounds by placing the plate under UV light or placing the plate into a jar full of iodine, which colors the spots. If the spots are too close to the bottom of the plate, a more polar solvent is needed to drive the compounds to separate and move up the plate. If the compounds are too high, a less polar solvent can be used. The amount traveled by each compound can be compared by taking the ratio of the distance traveled in centimeters over the distance of the solvent front to give the retention factor, or RF value. These RF values can be compared to a reference of a particular compound or the starting solution to prove creation of product as well as completeness of reaction. A copy of the TLC plate should be drawn in the lab report.